guys, in this video we will be solving the questions in the NSO Level 2 year 2011 through 12. Moving on to if the sun plus the sun plus the sun equals 72 and the sun plus the smiley face equals 55, then what does a smiley face equal? So first we have to look at, if we look at this equation, it says some number plus some number plus some number, and that equals some number times 3, because you're just multiplying it by 3 here. So and if you do 72 divided by 3, you're going to get 24. And so we know that the sun equals 24. So sun equals 24. And then now we have to figure out the smiley face. So here the answer for the smiley face plus the sun, or smiley face plus 24, is 55. So if we do 55 minus 24, we get 31. So the smiley face should be 31. Smiley face is 31. And then it's asking what is the smiley face equal to. So then we figure out that the smiley face equals 31. So then the answer for number 1 is 31. Gia reads 20 pages of a book each night. How many pages in all did Gia read in 7 nights? So 20 pages of a book each night. So let's put nights as 20 and 7 nights. We would do 20 times 7. And then we would get 140. So then 140 would be the answer. And it says, which of the following models represent 3 times 2? So let's see. If we look over here, this is 3 blocks, and then this right here is 2 blocks. So that's 3 and 2. So 3 times 2. We got the thing. 3 times 2. So then the answer for number 3 is A. Anuj had 1,328 strawberries to share equally among 4 friends. How many strawberries did each friend get? So what you would do here is, so since there are 4 friends, if you can divide 4 by 4, you get 1, and then 8 by 4 is 2, and then let's look at 2. You can't do 2. So let's say we have 12. If we have 12, then that would be a 3. And so that's 3. And then now, since we made this a 12, we have to make this a 12, minus 1. So that's 13 minus 1, which is 12 again. So then we get 3. So that's 3, 3, 2, 1. And it's a bit hard to see though, but the answer we got is 3, 3, 2, 1. So then that's B. what fraction of the figure is unshaded? So, if we look over here, it is a bit tricky, but it's not that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so we have 10 by the total, which is 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, and then we have 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube. So that's 3 times 4, which is 12. But then, see, these are split in half. So that's 12 times 2, which is 24. So that's by 24. And then if we look at this back, we have 14 by 24 because it said unshaded. But this is not the right answer because, see, we counted this part as 2 pieces. But no, see, this is the only reason why we did that is because like it's split into 2 pieces. But it's still equivalent because if we say 1/4 plus 1/4, that equals 2/4, which is basically 1/2. So, and 1/2 is what each of these are. So, what we have to do here is we have to subtract one of the things because if we recount, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 out of 24. And then we have to subtract to find the unshaded, which means 15 by 24. So if we find 15 by 24 on C. So the answer for number 5 is C. Whoops, don't worry about that. Right. What is the value of 5,023 hundreds and 15 tens? So, let's see. What is the value of 5,023 hundreds and 15 tens? So, it says 5,000, and then we have to add 23 hundreds, so 100 has 2 zeros, and it says 23. And then we add the tens, so that's over here 0, 5, and 1. And when you add all of these, you get 0, 5, 4, and 7. 7, 4, 5, 0. So, let's see. Where is 7, 4, 5, 0? We see 7, 4, 5, 0 at C. So, for this number 6, we would get C. I am a 2-digit number. I am lying between 59 and 99. I am divisible by both 4 and 7. What number am I? So, first, what we have to do is, let's just try a 10. So, if we do 7 times 10, we get 70. And 70 is not divisible by 4. Let's see. Well, 4 does not end with any of 4's, like, any of 4's factors, multiples, any of 4's multiples do not end with a 7. So, what we would do is we would, some of them can end with a 4. For example, like 84, 124, and other numbers like that. And 7 can also get a 4 because of 7 times 2. So let's see what we can do. So if we can have a 4 at the end with both, then 4 says, hey, I need a 10 that is divisible by me. So that can be 8. Well, 7 can give an 8. It can also give other stuff. The most visible one here is 8 because 7 times 10 is 70. And so if we add a 14, we get an 8 as a 10, and that's divisible by 4. And then I said add 14, and then if we do 70 plus 14, we get 84. So an 84 would be the answer for number 7. So that means that B is the answer. In how many different ways can Sneha choose one book and one bookmark? So, the quick way to do this is that we know that there are 3 books, and each of these 3 books have a choice of having 2 bookmarks. So, if we do 3 times 2, because each of them have a 2 possibility, we do 3 times 2, and we get 6. So 6 would be the answer. Anna has the shapes shown in the given box. In which sentence best describes Anna's shapes? So let's see. Each shape has all sides of equal length. No, because this side of this shape does not look similar to this side. So I wouldn't say it's A. Let's see B. Each shape has one line of symmetry. I wouldn't agree, because if that were true, then this shape should have one line of symmetry, but it doesn't. Only these 2 shapes do. So it's not B. Let's try C. Each shape has 4 right angles. Well, I wouldn't call this right here a right angle. And this, and this, and this, and this, and this. I wouldn't call those right angles. So, I don't know. These don't look like right angles, because a right angle is 90 degrees. And so it should just be like this. But these are like this. They're like, this thing looks like it's obtuse, and this thing looks like it's a right angle, and this thing looks obtuse, and yeah, this thing looks acute. But yeah, they don't have all 4 right angles. Then if we try D, each shape has 4 corners. Let's see. So let's see, that's 1 corner, 2 corner, 3 corner, 4 corner. So that's 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 1, 2. So yeah, each of them have 4 corners. So then we have D as the correct answer. Classes that visit the Life Science Museum are divided into groups of 4 students. For each tour guide, which of the following classes would not be able to form groups of 4 students with none left over? So basically all it's asking right here is which number is not divisible by 4. So let's see. 4 times 9 is 36, so it cannot be A. And then let's see, B, 40. 4 times 10 is 40. And then 52. 4 times 13 equals 52. Let's try C, 46. See, right here is a 4, which is divisible by 4. And here is a 6, which is not divisible by 4. So the answer is C, because it's the which is a way to help control environmental pollution. So let's see. Travel by car instead of bicycle. Well, pollution, let's see. Bicycles don't need gas to move. So, they won't make pollution because they don't have any gas to do anything. They don't use electricity, and they don't do anything with pollution. But then cars, they do pollution, because if you see a car, and this is like the pump thing where the gas comes out and it goes, and that's pollution, because all the gas is going out, and that's pollution, the bad air coming into the world or the earth. That's pollution. So then it's not going to be A. Use pesticides to keep insects away from plants. Well, I don't think that has to do anything with pollution, and plus that would kill your plants, I think. I never tried it, but I'm pretty sure that might kill your plants. And then it says burn waste materials at dump sites. Burn waste materials at dump sites. Well, when you do that, you're making pollution, because there's bad air coming into the earth. Remember, you don't want pollution. So that's why C is the wrong answer. And the only one left here is D. And and it also controls pollution, because it says reuse cans, balls, and newspapers whenever possible. So whenever this is possible, if you do this, then it's going to take more time for the people that do C to do it, and that's going to help control environmental pollution. So D would be the answer. For number 11. Abe is trying to find out which soil makes carrots grow best. He uses a ruler to compare the carrots. What is Abe measuring? So, if he's using a ruler, normally people use rulers to find out their length, like something's length. Yeah, something's length. They use rulers to find out something's length. And so that means A is the right answer. Which will melt the ice fastest? So, let's see. The ice is frozen. So if we find the opposite of frozen, that's burning. And so if we calm down burning, that means heat. So let's see which one gives heat. So A does not give any heat. Well, it does, but it does it pretty slowly. And then B doesn't give that much heat. And then C, it gives the exact opposite of heat. And then D, it gives heat. This is a literal fire, so that means it gives heat. And if you just completely throw the ice cube in this fire, it'll just melt in I don't know, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, but it'll melt super fast. Which invention has been the most powerful, the most helpful in allowing people to communicate? So it's asking which one allows us to communicate. So if we see A, it's a camera. That's not a way of communicating. Well, it is with YouTube, but that's not communicating like a phone. Like if there's a phone here. This is the hearing part. This is the hearing part over here, and this is the talking part. Well, no, I think it's the opposite. This one is the hearing part, and this one is the talking part. And that allows us to communicate. But if we look at this, we see a phone. So, B, the phone, is the right answer. Which of these is incorrect regarding plants, parts, and its function? Flower. Make seeds for the plant. Yeah, flowers do make seeds for the plant. Stem. Supports the plant. It contains thin tubes for carrying food, minerals, and water. Yeah, true. Leaves. Make food for the plant. Yeah, they do. That's where like the fruits come up. The leaves produce it. The fruit. And they produce it because of the sunlight. When the sunlight hits the leaves, they start producing the plant slowly. They take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen into the air. That's true. They give out the oxygen, and they take in the carbon dioxide. But us humans are doing the exact opposite. We take in oxygen and we take out carbon dioxide. And we give carbon dioxide, yes. And then roots. Roots absorb sunlight and make food. No. Isn't that what plants do? So, that's the incorrect thing. The roots is the one that's wrong. So, D would be the right answer for 15. And also, there's more proof. Roots are inside the soil. And there's no sun inside the soil. Well, there is what is it, inner core? Yeah, there's the inner core, but that's way too deep inside. Can't reach that part. And then, let's see. A student placed a healthy plant outside. 5 days later, the plant looked dried and wilted as shown in the figure. The plant most likely needs water. It would be water because the soil, it already has plenty of soil. It already has sunlight. And then it says all of these. But it has 2 of these. So it cannot be A, C, or D. So it has to be B. And there's also more proof. See, when you give the plant water, the plant takes in the water and can grow better. But if you don't give water, it just gets dried and then it falls down. That's what's happening here. So B would be the answer for 16. Which system of our body controls all actions of the body? So let's see. The digestive system is the digestion, whatever. It's where you digest your food that you eat. That's the digestive system. The breathing system is the system that lets you breathe. It's basically like the breathing comes from the nose. Like the breathing comes from the nose, and then it goes into the lungs. I don't know how to draw lungs. I don't need to. But yeah, it goes into the lungs, And then yeah, that's it. And then and then you take it out through the nose. And then so that's the breathing system. Not exactly. That's just brief. So like it's just super fast like thing. You just take in the air and then take out the air. That's the breathing system. And the circularity system is the blood. So it's like the blood. So basically, in the circularity system, the circularity system is the blood place. Like it does everything with the blood. And then the nervous system does everything with the nerves. And inside the brain, there are nerves. So inside the brain, there are nerves. Brain, there are nerves. And so that's also, and the brain controls what you're doing. So that's all the nerves. These are just random lines. These are not nerves. I'm just doing that because to represent nerves. And then, yeah, so that would be the nervous system because your brain controls what you're doing. So, yeah, nervous system is D. Moving on, A, food web is shown here. A food web is shown here. Which animal eats both plants and animals? So, if we look over here, so the bear, okay, so this lion eats the deer. The deer, yeah, the deer eats the plant. Right, yeah. And then the bear also eats the plant. And the bear also eats the deer. And the bear also eats the fish. And the fish also eats the fish. And the fish also eats plants. So here it says, what eats both plants and animals? So it would be the bear because it's eating both plants and animals. Well, no, not the fish. This. Plants and animals. So the answer for 18 would be A, the bear. The bear. The bear. A student builds a model of a weather tool. Which weather condition does this tool best measure? So it best measures wind speed, because if there's low wind, then it would go slowly to the wind direction. So if the wind was coming over here, it would go like this. It would circle like this. And if it was coming extreme over here, then it would go super duper fast. These lines equal how fast it's going. So if there's more lines, it's going faster. So that would measure wind speed. And so, yeah. So wind speed, yeah. Whoops. And then, so students have a stack of cards to organize into groups. Each card has a picture of a different object. The cards that belong to group 1 are shown below. Which picture card would best be placed in group 1? So, let's see. So if we look it's talking about living things because a frog is a living thing, a tree is a living thing, a squirrel is a living thing, and a starfish is a living thing. Whatever this is, I think it's a drum. A drum is not a living thing. A cup is not a living thing. The sun is not a living thing. I don't know. It is, but it's not on Earth. The sun is not on Earth, so it can't be sun. And then A. A is on Earth, and it is a living thing. So A would be the answer. A. Tadpoles live in water. The gills best help the tadpole survive in water by helping the tadpole stay warm, helping the tadpole find prey, helping the tadpole get oxygen, helping the tadpole to swim. So it would be C, helping the tadpole to get oxygen, because their gills let out the water. Yeah, like they have to keep their mouth open to eat. And so when their mouth is open, the water comes into their mouth and they need their gills for the water to go out. And so that they can get oxygen inside instead of water. So yeah. The answer would be C. Mr. Mac drew a map of his farm as shown here. What is located towards northeast of his farm? So his farm is right here, as you can see. His farm is right here, and it's talking about northeast. And the north is pointing right here. I mean, the east is pointing right here, and the north is pointing right here. So in the middle would be this house. Let me get the line put. In the middle. See right here it says the angle too. So if this was a 90-degree angle, it would be pointing like 45 degrees. Yeah, so then that would be the house. And so A, the house. Which characteristic helps a frog to swim in water? The size of its eyes. I don't think that has to do anything with the water. Well, it does have to see, but that doesn't have to do anything with swimming because its eyes doesn't come out and then just use it. The frog doesn't use the eyes to push itself through the water because then that would be disgusting because it'll just push out its eyes and then get that thing. And then it says the pattern on its skin. Well, I don't think so. And then it says the shape of its feet. Well, I would say so because the shape of its feet are pretty webby. So, since they're webby, they can push the water better than our feet. Because our feet, in the middle of their, in the middle of our toes, there's a gap. So we can't push that good. And our feet are not wide enough to get pushed good. Push the water good. And so yeah. But a frog's foot is like a frog's foot is like this. But it has 3 of these things. And as you can see, it's not just a whole gap like ours do. It's like ours is like this. Has a complete gap. Like this. but theirs is still connected. And yeah, so enough of that stuff. And so the answer for 23 is C. Based on the given chart, desert plants most likely compete for water because they need water. And the desert doesn't have that much water, so the answer would be water. A student throws a ball toward the net, as shown. The ball falls back down. What force causes the ball to fall back down? Well, so if the ball goes up and then it goes in here, it goes into the basket, gravity gets the force and pulls it down. Pulls it down. And so that means that gravity is the one. So then it would be the pull of gravity. The pull of gravity. What would most likely be the materials of which two equal-sized carrier bags, X and Y, carrying equal weights are made? So, equal weights, right? So, as you can see, Y is ripped, and X is perfectly firm. So, let's see. That means that Y has to be weaker than X. So let's see, X, jute is basically like yarn. And yarn, if X were made out of jute or yarn, and Y was made out of plastic, then it would be better, because silk is just silky. Whatever you put in there, it's just gonna completely collapse. It's just gonna fall right down, and you're gonna basically be holding nothing. It's just gonna completely rip, because it's just silk. It won't hold anything. It's just silk. So it cannot be B, because X is the stronger one here. So then it should be D, because paper is weaker than plastic. And I don't think any bags are made out of paper. And then if we see on B, X is the silk one. So that's bad because silk is very, very weak. And then A is plastic and jute. And jute is stronger than plastic. And Y is jute. So it's saying that jute's ripped. But that's not true, because jute is stronger than plastic. So that should be D, because plastic is weaker than jute. In the given figure, X can be made of which of these materials? So, which of these materials? X. Oh, okay. So X is talking about the pan right here. So it can be made out of glass, metal. It can't be made out of glass. It can be made out of wood, metal. It can also be made out of plastic. Wait a second. Metal. What's two? Yeah, wood, metal, or plastic. So it would be D. The answer is D. The person who makes the plan of a house is known as an architect. Don't worry about that. But the answer for 28 is A, architect. Following is a reversible change. So it said reversible, not irreversible. It said reversible. So it has to be able to be reversed. So let's see. When you put something in fire, you can't just use your magic powers because you don't have any. You can't use them to bring the object back. It just already dissolved and got heated up. So yeah. And then B, on B it says you're heating up the thing. These are not noodles flying. If they were, that would be really funny, but they're not noodles flying in the air. They're steam. So that means that the thing in the pan is getting heated. And so you can reverse this by putting it back in a refrigerator to make it get cold. And then C, when you cut this thing, it turns into two things. You can't glue them back together. Well, you can, but that's not exactly reversible. And then in D, it's talking about the wax going all the way down and making it completely like melt, kind of. It's just gonna, all the wax is gonna go away and the fire is gonna go away. Can you bring it back together? Well, no, you can't. So then the answer for 29 is B, because that's the only reversible change here. And then it says Rajesh is traveling from his hometown to the city where he works. On his way, he finds an injured person. Which of the given symbols will help him locate a hospital? Well, so the symbol of a hospital is a plus. So whichever one has a plus, B is the answer. Refer the given figure. Showing changes in flag's shadow during the day. Shadows PQR represent different times of the day. At what time would Preeti like to have breakfast? So, breakfast, evening snacks, both of these. So, let's see. These are the directions, and the sun comes out in the east. So east is over here. So this would be the breakfast time. So breakfast, the shadow here would be P. So that's P, okay. And then, yeah, so that's P. And then in the evening, the sun comes over here. So that's evening snacks, which means R. So it's PR. D. PR. And then the largest organ of our body is, so the largest organ of our body is the lung, because that's the biggest one. And our skin is not an organ, is it? I don't know. I don't think it is. But yeah, lungs. I think it's lungs because, if our skin was an organ of the body, then it would be the skin, because that's larger than the lungs, I think. But yeah, our skin is probably not an organ, so it's lungs, I guess. I think. I don't know. But I think it's lungs, so yeah. Which of these is incorrect? So the lungs and nose, yeah, they're connected. Well, not exactly. It's not exactly saying they're connected, but it's saying when you breathe, you breathe from the nose and it comes to the lungs, kind of, yeah. And then it says stomach, mouth. Well, once you eat from the mouth, it goes into the stomach. So yeah. And then heart, eyes. Well, I don't think the heart would do anything with the eyes. Let's see, brain ears. Well, the brain does have ears. No, the brain does not have ears, but the brain has nerves that are connecting to the ears to make the ears work so that you can hear. So the answer for 33 would be C, heart eyes, because they have no connection. Why junk food like fried chips, pakoras, burger are not considered healthy? Well, these are not, okay, let's see. Because they contain lots of fats and carbohydrate and less of protein. Because they contain lots of protein and carbohydrate and less of fat. Because they contain lots of fat and protein and less of carbohydrate. Because they contain less of fat, carbohydrate, and protein. Well, it says because, well, I think it's A, because they contain lots of fats and carbohydrate and less of protein. Because lots of protein is bad, and lots of carbohydrate is bad, and lots of fat is bad. Because if you get like super fat, then it's going to be hard to do stuff. So let's see. Now it says, which of these works as on mechanical energy? So mechanical energy. So mechanical energy is when you use energy. When you use the energy and you do stuff with your energy. So D is using electrical energy. C is using electrical energy. B is using electrical energy. But on A, you have to pedal yourself. So you are using your energy, which means that A is mechanical energy. So the answer for 35 is A. And that was the end of the video. So if you like this video, make sure to click the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye. And also, don't forget to click the what's called notification bell, because if you don't, then you won't know when my next video is going to come out. So I won't see you in my next video. But yeah, also click the notification bell. And bye.